Hi, I'm Ladey from Pink Parties Press. This is a series of articles about how to start and how to finish your book. This is part 3. In part 1, we spoke about what inspires you to write your book. And in part 2, we talked about what is your genre, what is the subject that your book is going to be about. So today we're going to look at the hardest part, the writing, getting those words down. We have 2 questions to start with. 1, do you really want to do this? Do you really want to write your book? And 2, have you got it in you? I'm sure you have, but will you do whatever it is you need to do to write your book? Now, this is a way of giving you far more tips and things to help you along the way on what you need to do. So you need copy. And if you excuse the pun, you need the words. The words, and you need to start putting them together, collecting them. And there's some choices on how you do this. The good old-fashioned way of pen and paper, or the digital way of typing it in. Typing it in and understanding it as you go, but you must have the flow and how we get that flow going. You can speak your words into a recorder, into a software application like Dragon, or as I'm doing, using Zoom. I love Zoom. It's my absolute favorite because you can speak and then get the transcript. But that is another video. You could hire a ghostwriter. Now, that's not as crazy as it sounds. And in my podcast, The Ladey Adey Show, I will be having an interview very soon with a successful ghostwriter and how it's so important that she keeps the author's authentic voice. You could produce a short video piece or an audio piece and have those transcribed. You could dictate your piece, your writing, to a secretary or a personal assistant. You can take a research piece, go and find something on the internet which is about the subject that you're writing about, and change it. Change the words into your voice. You have to change at least 35%, but you can use the facts because they've probably got the facts from somebody else. Or if they haven't, if it's original, you just quote them. And then you can make it an original piece. You can join a writing group, but make sure that the members in that writing group are those that will encourage and inspire you, and you do the same for them. Carry a notebook around with you wherever you go. This is so vital because inspiration strikes at the most curious of times. Somebody will say something and you suddenly think, oh wow, or you tell them that you're writing a book and what it's about, and they'll say, oh, I've got a story about that, or did you know? And they give you something, some anecdote or a quote from someone or a book they've read or a film they've watched that you have never thought of. And if you don't capture it down there and then, the chances are you will forget. When do you wake up? Do you wake up in the middle of the night? Sometimes you've had a dream maybe, or your thoughts are just going so fast in your head. Have a notebook beside your bed and just write them down. But the most important thing at this moment is to gather copy, write copy, organize copy, and do not edit. That's the biggest tip I can give you. When you're in this very creative stage, you're using part of the brain that is very different. It's very different to the very logical, methodical, critical, judgmental part of the brain that you need when you're editing. But when you're creating your copy, when you're writing, and if you're using your whole imagination, the last thing you need to do is be thinking, should that full stop go there? Do I need to make this new paragraph? Is the spelling of this word right? You forget all that and just do the work, which is get the words on paper, get it down there. Now, it might be that you have to do some research, unless it is all coming from your imagination. And this is, well, I always find it quite an exciting part. And Mr. Google and Amazon are just great places to find the material that you need, or to check the facts and figures that you are putting, that they are correct. The tip here is that anything you use, you must make a note. You must have a book with A to Z on it, or Excel, but record what it is that you're using, where you found it from, who it's written by, so that you can actually give them the acknowledgement either through references or in another way. But if you don't do that, and do it as you go along, because if you don't, trying to do it right at the end, you will miss somebody. And that's always a shame. Credit should go where credit's need. Commit a time as your I am author time, and let people know you're not to be disturbed during that time. Take the telephone off. Do not look at the emails. And this is your concentrated time to sit and write. Then find yourself, what is the time that you write best? I'm an early bird. I'm up with the lark. I love writing at 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Ask me to write at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and I'm on the floor. My daughter's the opposite. She's an owl, and she loves doing her creativity in the evening, which is great until we work together on a project, and then we have to find a balance between us. Some people say they just set a certain amount of time every day, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, some every other day. Some just keep their whole writing time is for a 4-hour block on a Sunday afternoon. What suits you? What makes your creative juices really flow? Another way is to say, I will write a certain number of words a day. So you set your word count and you check it every now and then. When you hit that, you know, you can go off and get yourself a nice drink and sit in the sunshine. Others say, no, I would finish a certain number of pages or a chapter, and then I'm done. But it all gives progress, because sooner or later you will finish. You will finish this copy and be very proud that you have. Where do you do it? Is it at the dining room table? Is it outside in a summer house? Somewhere where you can be as relaxed as you can when you're hunched over typing, or sitting there writing, or even talking into recorder. You need to feel very comfortable. As comfortable as you can be. It all helps. It all helps to get this thing going. Warning, save your stuff. Photograph your stuff. Take photocopies. Anyway, but keep a copy. There's nothing worse than thinking you've saved something and there's a power cut, or Word does something that Word just does. Who knows what goes on behind the doors of Word, and you suddenly find that the last hour, which you really got into, is gone. I often think of the scene from Little Women when Jo and Amy have a falling out. Amy is the younger sister, and in her temper, she takes what she knows is the most precious thing of Jo's, which is her manuscript, and she throws it on the fire. It's gone. And in the 1830s, there's no other copy apart from that one, which has just been destroyed. It is an author's nightmare. Have a carrot and a stick. You know, watch out for procrastination. There's a word, procrastination. Sometimes when I need to write and I know I've got the ideas in my head and I know I just have to get down and sit down and do it, and I find myself doing the dishes, one of my least favorite jobs, or even cleaning the bathroom. What are your procrastination points? Do you catch yourself out doing it? Are you eating on the go? Just check yourself. Give yourself little rewards. You know, I sometimes have to say to myself, look, just do it for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I sit down, and before I know it, half an hour's gone by and I've got some great content, some great copy. It's a tip for you. If you get stuck, nothing is flowing or coming to you, then take out a piece of paper or open a document, a blank document on the computer, set a timer for about a minute, and in that minute you have to write. You just have to continue writing. Now it could be you just say, I can't think of anything to say, I don't know what to write, but even putting those down mean you're doing something. And after a while, the brain goes, oh right, this is what you want me to do. And words can begin to flow. Decide for yourself whether you believe in writer's block or not. Get yourself a copy of this amazing book. It's called The War of Art, and it's by Steven Pressfield. Now, Steven Pressfield is one of my favourite people, and he wrote The Legend of Bagger Vance. Now, if you've not seen that film or read the book, I highly recommend it. But this book is all about how when you're a creative person and you start to do that in any aspect of art, and of course writing is an art, you come across resistance. However you view that resistance, and procrastination is just one of those, but things interfere. And they interfere because something out there wants to stop you from doing the best you can be and doing the best work you can do. So this shows you how resistance creeps in. And when you're on a creative high and have something important to share, it's quite strong, the resistance. So have a look at that. He's also got a web page and newsletter, and he and one of his partners is so good about different tips on writing. Worth a look. So let me know where you are in your writing progress. What stage are you at? And what is your favourite writing stage or your least favourite writing page? Let me know in the comments. And the next time we talk, and I think will be our final part in this series, will be how do you know when your writing is finished, when you've got a completed manuscript. Ladey Adey, keep writing and keep unfrozen.